is Tally Koren, singer-songwriter. I'm here today with a very special guest, and we're going to explore what holds us back in life. It can be from losing weight to achieving your dreams. Now, I'm not a motivational coach. For this, I've got the experts with me, but I'm a person that, against all odds, fulfilled my dream to become international singer-songwriter with family rejections, family objections, and many rejections. But it's only lately that I decided to re-release Beauty of the Duty, a song that brought me to fame in 2011 and was on playlists of so many radios and the BBC. I added to the extended version, What Holds You Back? And by doing it, I suddenly realized that it's me that holds me back all those years until it became a success. But maybe even I'm still holding myself back because it's not, oops, I'll edit it after. Maybe it's me that still do something that hold myself back because it's not yet a world hit that can inspire millions. And that's why I'm doing all these Zoom sessions to inspire you to save time and a long journey, because it's only you that holds yourself back. And this is why we're so privileged to have with us today. He's a bestseller author and speaker and leader. And the main theme of his so many books are about humanity and change the world. So please welcome Jonathan Blain. I'm so happy to see you. Last time that I met you was at the launch of your book, Feel Good, Change the World. And I remember reading it and feeling so good. And this is when our connection starts. So welcome. And obviously the first question that I would like to ask you is someone that really explore, and you are so deep, you are going there with real research, and that's what I learned about you. What can you say in few words that hold us back so much in life?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to talk to you, Tally, and to talk to your viewers and the people that are watching this. The one thing that I feel is that we're all connected as human beings. We're all brothers and sisters. We're part of one family, the human race, and sometimes we can feel alone. And I just think we're living at this extraordinary time in human history. A lot of people will look to the pandemic and say, well, the pandemic has just changed everything. But actually, I feel that there are a number of factors that have come together that are giving us all problems, but it's also creating opportunities. What you've got is a population of the world has just expanded exponentially. You've got this huge advancement of technology and progress that has seemed to begin with like it was all good, but I think that there are negative sort of sides, and just the rate of change is just massive, that none of us really know what to expect tomorrow, let alone next year or sort of into the future. And I think the consequence of all these things is that a lot of people are feeling held back. A lot of the foundations of our lives, of our careers, of our hopes and dreams have been, sort of broken. They've been like detached. If you imagine like an analogy of a ship, and the ship sort of like anchored sort of, firmly to the ground, that firm foundation that we're all so used to has just disappeared, and it's very, very unsettling. what I feel is that you have, like a sort of like an arrow to the issue, um, sort of pointed to the what holds us back. And obviously, you're absolutely right that it is ourselves. And there are so many reasons that we can point the finger of blame at other people, and we can sort of say, well, it's the external circumstances. And I think, yes, there are external circumstances. Yes, there are, challenges, and in the real world that you can't ignore. So if you haven't got a job and you haven't got any money and you've got bills to pay, you've got a family to support, that is like absolutely real. Or if you're working flat out to just keep your head above the water and you want to change the direction of your life, that's very difficult when you just need that money coming in to be able to support yourself, your family, and your loved ones. Now, I come to this whole area about, what holds you back, not from, being a sort of detached researcher, but being somebody who I'd say I'm like everyone else. I'm like you, I'm like all the people that are watching this. We're just normal human beings. And we all go through the same issues. And if you look at a lot of famous people that we think, and rich people who you think have no problems at all, some of them end up committing suicide, having mental breakdowns, having all sorts of issues, because whilst they look on the surface that everything's okay, beneath the surface that they're not okay. Would you like me to sort of talk a bit about some of the things that I think might hold people back, and how we might be able to offer some advice to help?
I like you, if you can share with us your wisdom in few minutes, because I like to go deeper in our interview about the subject. This is now all good, but it's the surface. So let's tell us a few things, because you are a consultant as well. Beside being a bestseller author and a leader, I know that you are a consultant. So please give us a little bit of your wisdom.
Okay, so what I think is that there are sort of 6 key things that hold us back, or that can hold us back. I'm not saying that they do. And I think everyone will go through times in their life where they come to a challenge that holds them back. It's not, it's almost like we freewheel down a hill and then suddenly we're faced with an uphill again. So these 6 things, the first is fear. Fear is just an enormous thing that can hold us back. And, it can be fear of failure, fear of rejection, all sorts of, fears.
And fear of success as well.
Yeah, or fear
very
of
important.
So that's the first one. The next is guilt, particularly when you're in, relationships, that if you take a risk that doesn't work out, and the consequence of you trying to move forward in the direction you want to causes pain and suffering to other people, to your family, to your loved ones, or disappointment, that guilt towards of others is a big thing that will stop you. So that's number 2. Number 3 is criticism. We're all we want to be liked. We don't want to have people criticize us. It can make us, we want lots of likes on social media. We don't want people to troll us and say nasty things about us. And often, that criticism of other people can take our energy. It can burst our bubble. It can sap us of energy. It can lead on to, one of my next points, which is doubt. And it's that doubt of our ability to be able to succeed, a doubt as to whether that course of our action, that project, that dream, that hope is real, is possible for us. The next one is resentment. Often people will really resent you when you want to do things that don't fit with their expectation of yourself. And I think you can't underestimate how much control other people assert onto us, that project onto us,
Mm.
who want us to fail because they become jealous
Yeah,
of
yeah,
us,
yeah, yeah.
of our success, and they want to, torpedo it. And it's a very destructive, negative
Absolutely,
sort of thing.
absolutely.
And
That,
then, the last point is uncertainty. And, what I feel is, life in a way is an adventure. An adventure is an undertaking involving risk and uncertainty and the hope of positive outcomes with the expectation of excitement. But that uncertainty that we might fail, that we might not succeed, that this might not work. And if you ever listen to Elon Musk talk, he talks about this big uncertainty about whether Tesla, SpaceX, Boring is going to succeed almost on a daily basis. He's living with that uncertainty of not knowing what the future holds. And I think we all crave certainty, but the events of, recent times have shown us that we have to operate in environments of uncertainty. None of us know whether we're going to be struck down with an illness tomorrow. Today is the day. Now is the time. Our life is so precious. Every minute, every day, every hour counts. And that if we can chip away at all these things that hold us back, striving, it's better to strive for your dreams, for your hopes, to be all that you can be, to, fulfill yourself and not succeed, than not to try at all. And I think that is the thing. You have to make a decision. Am I going to go for it? Am I going to settle for what I've got? And I just think settling for what you've got is, life is about living, and it's like a blessing that we all have. And I think it's also, it's about giving as well. And I think you asked me to spread some wisdom. Wisdom's the topic of my next book. And I think that we tend to feel that our lives are about us and what we can get, what we can achieve, what we can do. And to an extent they are. But I think that from the work that you do, that often the greatest satisfaction, achievement is actually helping others, is contributing to a greater good. And also recognizing that we're all in that family of humanity. And how can we be happy if our family aren't sort of looked after? Not just our immediate family, but the whole family of humanity.
That's beautiful.
So that's what I think. I think we need wisdom, and that wisdom is indivisible from love, and not love that's all huggy kisses, romance, but a deep love for each other, for the world, for the creation, for everything about us. And I also feel that a lot of this last century has been about rights, our rights, our right to this, our right to healthcare, our right to education. And I just think, in your sort of song, The Beauty of Duty, I just think we have a duty to, to each other. We have, with rights come responsibilities. And I feel, to an extent, collectively, we've forgotten that we have a responsibility to each other. We have a responsibility to future generations. We have a responsibility to people in other parts of the world. And I think that this all ties in with like consciousness, and sometimes it's pain and suffering that makes you realize and see things in a different way. And ultimately, I think there's a lot of that going on at the moment, that people are just questioning everything. And I think it's good to question. It's good to ask the questions, because I think that we need to create a better future for all of us.
Absolutely. That was so, like in your book, you like to put points. This is kind of your style, and make things to be more clear. But as I said to you, I like to go one step deeper. And if you don't want to participate, you can say to me you don't want. So I just want to share with the people that I know you because you were brave enough to come to me after a show that you heard me singing. It was the theme of the event was peace, and you told me that your daughter had that was at the time when she wrote it, she wrote a song about the subject of peace and better world at the age of 12.
That's
You
right.
send me that song. I'm telling all this story on purpose. You send me that song, and this song was a trigger of me opening the National School Poetry Competition with the theme of peace. So your action by just coming to me, triggering me something that was the right thing for me to do at the time. So look how beautiful. This is how we are connected, right?
Well,
okay.
Completely.
Yeah. Now, I think since then we were in touch, and I realized I admire your wisdom and the way you speak. It was just a pure joy to hear you now. But I remember, so I was all excited about your daughter, but obviously wanted to know about you. And even, you know, if I can say that when we spoke before the recording, I asked you what is the main thing that I should call you, and you were in doubts. Now, this is not unliking you. I have the same thing, and that's why I think I can share and let people understand, because I think we are brave enough to see what holds us back. So all the 6 points that you said until now, they're general, they're good. But then we need to take the layers and to look at ourselves. Why in 2011 my song was all over the world and it didn't become a hit? I wanted to find out. Now, we know that I'm doing it all myself. Maybe that holds me back because I'm stubborn. We know that I've done so many projects and I've done this competition to change children's life. Maybe that holds me back. And this is one of the things that I realize, that this time now that people are in such a change and almost life has stopped, this is opportunity to really see what holds us back and make the change. So if you can share with us, if you, with all these talents, and I don't remember the numbers of book, there are many, are you at the ultimate of where do you want to be? What holds you back, you think, personally?
Personally, I think we all have a nemesis. You know, we have, you know, something about us. And I don't lack confidence. I don't lack energy. I've achieved lots of different things. I rather like your sort of self, you know, had this life where I was the youngest compliments officer in the Royal Navy. I was 10 years an executive with a big oil company. Then I became a successful entrepreneur. I entered into a joint venture with a FTSE 100 company. I had a record-breaking IPO with the biggest flotation on this stock market. I became a best-selling author. My work's been endorsed by all these top leaders. They're heads of really big companies, like in the UK, like the head of Apple and Sony and Carphone Warehouse and the director.
Okay.
All these top people.
Okay. But there is a but.
What my nemesis has been immense, overwhelming uncertainty and self-doubt, and a lack of identity, of knowing who I really was at the deepest level, and also wanting to know the truth about myself. And it's that doubt has made me, even though I've created, because I'm a creator, I create lots of things. I create something and then I think it's not good enough. And so I go, well, and maybe that's one of the reasons I've written so many books. I write a book, it's endorsed by all these top people, and then I go, oh, you know what, it could be better. Maybe you have this with your songs. You know, you write a song and you're never quite happy, and you always think, oh, if only this. And that has been that combination of sort of self-doubt and uncertainty about who I was led me onto this journey of discovery. And I've got like a little prop by my side here. Can you see this folder here?
Yeah.
This folder here
Yes.
is full of assessments
Wow.
about me, because I wanted to find out who I really was. What were my real strengths? Because we all live in a world where people say, oh, you're good at this and you're good at that. And, you know, we hang on to things that we've achieved and jobs that we've got as a role. So I could say, well, I'm a chief executive of a publicly created company, and that's what I do. But I just think that when you dig deeper, you realize that we're none of these things, that we're not what we have. Our possessions don't define us. We're not what we do. You know, we're not, our worthiness is not linked to whether, you know, I'm a best-selling author or not. And also, you know, I'm not what other people think of me. You know, my reputation, you know, the number of likes that you have on social media, the number of followers. And yet in this world, those things become the cornerstones that people hang on to, and they're not true. And what I've discovered is that when you push yourself and you're open to the truth can hurt, but it can also liberate you. It can set you free.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest with with yourself. And, you know, there's a toolkit about what you can do to increase your, you know, self-confidence, about your self-esteem, your self-image, your self-understanding. There's like loads of things. But when you dig deeper, you realize that actually inside you, the essence of you is a soul.
Yes.
And the soul doesn't come from the intellect. It comes from the heart.
Yes.
It's the passion, it's intuition. And actually that soul within you is wanting to be whole. And actually and this is where you're so right, we get in our own way.
Well, we get on our way.
We get in our own way. And we need to, ultimately, we're human beings, and we've got to be who we really are.
Yeah, it's all about authenticity.
We are not human doings. You know, we're human beings. We've got to be who we really are. And we've got to be all that we are. We're like this beautiful, precious, you know, seed. And through our lifetime, that seed can grow and grow and grow. And what it needs to do is to blossom. It needs to blossom to enable our beauty to come out, and the authenticity of who we really are. And that feeling of unfolding the real us is very difficult, because we have a world that projects onto us expectations, beliefs, judgments. And so you're fighting, you know, these things. And I think sometimes you find that old people get this wisdom because they have the experience.
Yes.
We start to change throughout our life. I mean, obviously, life is, you know, we just go through stages, don't we? From a baby through to like an old person. But we arrive in this world with nothing.
Exactly.
We leave with nothing. We can take nothing physical with us, and yet we give so much to the physical stuff. And actually, it's about relationships. It's about memories. It's about striving. It's about togetherness. It's about contribution. So that's what I think. That cough, and it's not COVID. I hope it's not, anyway.
Of course it's not. I think this self-doubt that you call about, in my world, as a singer-songwriter and producer or co-producer, I call it perfectionism, which comes as well. So it's that perfectionism come also from self-doubt, number one. And I think what you and me, in a way, share, we do a lot of things because we get that creativity. We are so blessed to have this creativity, but sometimes we need to hold back, no, hold us back, hold back, because if the cup is all the time full, we don't let it happen. We just don't let it happen. And I think, again, for all of you that's watching us, this is an opportunity from two people that are creative, that outside looks like, yes, we achieve big things, but we are really have the courage now to say the truth. And you might have lost your job, but you know what? In that moment of despair, suddenly a very small idea can come to you that would have never come. And that can change your life more than all this job that you go from 9 to 5 or whatever you do. So this is an opportunity. We should choose opportunity to now to make, to uplift our spirit. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I feel it's the beauty of the duty.
But I think what you're doing, it's waking up. It's waking up to soul, to spirit, to all of our connection to each other, to everything in the world, to everything in the universe, to a higher source. I'm writing this new book on wisdom, and one of the problems that I've had is feeling, who am I to write a book on wisdom? I mean, it's like, you've got all these sort of, geniuses with unbelievable, credentials and qualifications and IQs, that like Einstein and things. Who am I to write a book on wisdom? And yet I've had this strong feeling inside me that I have to do it. And that it's been very difficult to actually move this thing forward, because that doubt, that uncertainty, that feeling of who am I, that people could mock me for writing a book on wisdom. And yet I feel that that is what the world needs more than anything else. In fact, I think that we're kind of doomed if we're not wise about the things that we do collectively, but also individually.
Yeah.
So I think it's that feeling of duty that I have to do this, whether it's not that I'm into like creating a book. It's that I want to create a change. I want to create, to bring in the light and the love into the world, to accelerate it, to help people to awaken. Because I just get the feeling that in the world, I don't know whether you notice this, get my hand, when we point a finger,
right,
there's always, we're pointing fingers at politicians, at world leaders, at somebody else, community leaders, somebody on the TV, celebrities. Yet every time you point a finger, there's 3 fingers pointing back at ourselves. And I just think that the change is going to come when we all make the changes in our lives. And it's often small things that we're able to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the things that concerns me a lot is the packaging. I go into a supermarket and I'm buying the groceries. And then I look at all this stuff that I bought, and you look at the packaging and it's not currently recycled. And then you look at the ingredients and you just think, well, all that packaging, some of that's going to end up in the ocean. It's going to kill wildlife. It's completely and utterly unsustainable.
Yeah.
Yet, why am I, as somebody who sees myself as a little bit enlightened, doing it? And I think that's the point. We're all, it's normal. It's like, it's not seen as okay. But if we around us make that little decision to actually buy packaging that can be recycled, or, it's not pointing the finger at other people. It's like Gandhi says, be the change that you want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
And it all comes down to the within, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
We want to blame other people, but actually, I just think we've got so much power.
Yeah.
But if we just change the way that we see things, the way that we think, the things that we do. And it doesn't need to be like difficult stuff. It's small stuff makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So first of all, good luck with the new book. And with everything that you do, and keep changing the world with your wisdom and power and leadership. To all of you that were watching us, so all the links of Jonathan Book's website will be in the description. And of course, a link to Beauty of the Duty, What Holds You Back, a song that instantly can make you feel good. Please share the link, and please share those sessions if you feel that it can help people that you know, especially at this time. So thank you so much, Jonathan.
Well, thank you, Tally. You're inspiring. You inspire me continually. So you keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.